Hi, I'm Molly Reamer, and I'm the author of Womanrunes, a guide to their use and interpretation. This is an expanded means of interpreting, using, and working with an original woman-identified divination system that was created by the late Shekinah Mountain Water in 1987. I discovered Womanrunes in 2008 and then began working with them in an expanded, powerful way with groups of women in my own life and then personally on my own journey. I'd love to share with you what makes Womanrunes so special as a divination system that puts you in touch with your deep self, with your inner wisdom, with the woman's spirit guidance that surrounds you at all times. Womanrunes are simple, easily reproducible symbols that you can use on any variety of things in your own life, and in this way they become a living, evolving, dynamic system that you can invite into your life and invite the wisdom and the guidance that they bring into your life in many ways. Many divination oracle systems include really beautiful artwork on the cards, and Womanrunes are simple and really kind of basic looking and that is part of what gives them power and what makes them so impactful in people's lives, is because you can use them, you can draw them, you can write with them, you can carve them into things, you can paint them, you can easily begin to speak with their language. They become a part of your language of the divine, of the language of your inner self, the language of the goddess. It becomes a living tool that you can use every day in many ways. So what I would like to show you today is some of the many ways that you can use Womanrunes in the red tent, or at a women's ceremony or women's ritual with groups of other women. When you use these symbols together, it creates an even deeper sense of investment with the Womanrunes and with the other women, and it gives you a shared woman spirit language to share with one another. The most basic way to use Womanrunes in the red tent or at your women's circle is to have the book and cards available in a divination or intuition corner, so women can take a moment to check in with their inner guidance, with their deep self, and kind of get prepared for the circle ahead. Another way is to use them at the entrance to the red tent space, so as the woman comes in, she can pick a card to give her a touchstone or a message from her inner wisdom to bring into the circle that evening. It serves as sort of a centering process to get in the mood or the spirit of the circle space. And another possibility is as your circle begins, you can pass around the cards as a centering process, as an opening ritual, a check-in to get the women started with the circle, and they can share what message or guidance they've received from the symbol that they chose at that time. It's also possible to use them to check out of the circle. So again, you draw a card and then consult with the book for the interpretation or the meaning for her to carry with her as she leaves the circle to go into the rest of her life. Women may also want to do little or different readings for each other in the red tent as well. You can do a simple crone throw with 3 cards, or and some other basic layouts may be used for shared readings or guidance that way. Lots of ways to use Womanrunes on women's circle projects or red tent projects, and one of my favorites is to use them to make prayer flags. These have been well used, so they're a little bit raggedy around the edges, but basically you use white fabric and hem only around the top edge. You can hem continuously along a whole strip of fabric and then cut it apart into little squares later. They don't have to be even or exact in size, but you hem about a ½ inch or so at the top to make space for a dowel to go through. Oops. And then you can have a rotating system of messages to yourself, either intentionally chosen as something that you're wanting to express or to manifest or to bring forth or to remind yourself of, or they can be intuitively chosen and you receive the messages or guidance that they have to offer to you. So this little dowel can go into a garden or a plant, or it can be put into the rail on a porch, and then you can see what little messages flutter in the breeze for you. You may also make a larger prayer flag with just a few intentionally chosen Womanrunes symbols on it. Either you can make it as a gift for somebody else, or for yourself to display in your home or other place of significance to you. There are lots of ways to make personal sets of Womanrunes for use at home using a lot of different kinds of methods. So you can use clay, and you can either use self-hardening clay or air-bake clay like Sculpey polymer clay, Sculpey Fimo, that kind of thing. This set of runes I made using pottery clay, and then my mom has a kiln, so she was able to fire them for me, so they get nice and sturdy. And I just etched the Womanrune symbols into them with a toothpick. And a super easy way is to use these little glass pebbles that you can get in the florist section of a lot of different stores, or at a dollar shop type of place for $1, a whole bag of them. And then you use enamel paint markers to draw the symbols on them. The enamel paint is then fired in the oven for about 30 minutes or so, and it becomes scratch resistant. It isn't super durable, so you have to be careful with it, but it's scratch resistant after you fire it in the oven. Or you can collect special pebbles, beach pebbles, intentionally collected, mindfully collected, and then you can just use a regular Sharpie marker to draw the Womanrune symbols onto the stones, and that can be a really special connected way of using Womanrunes if the pebbles have come from a place of meaning to you and have been really carefully and mindfully collected at that place. And you can also write them on paper or a card, and as I mentioned before, you can use the printable set that's available on our website, which you can color, cut out, and then glue onto stones or mount on cards. Fun project is to use polymer clay to make a pocket totem, and so each woman can choose the runes that maybe spell her name or that represent qualities, messages, purposes, things she would like to attract or bring into or manifest in her life, or things that she wants to remind herself of, things that she wants to keep close at hand to know about herself. And again, those can be intentionally chosen, directly chosen, or they could be intuitively chosen, and then you just scratch them into the unbaked clay with a knife or a toothpick, and then bake it in the oven, and you have a pocket totem that can be carried with you as a portable reminder stone and a little place to check in with yourself. So there's a couple of different varieties here, and that's super simple and a nice fun project to do together. Mentioned Womanrunes can become part of your personal language of the divine or of your spirit, and so you may choose to make a greeting card for a circle sister or for someone else that you want to share a message with. You make a little pocket in the front and include some little messages and symbols in that pocket. And you can use Womanrunes for your own journaling. And just a second. Yeah. You can combine symbols together to create bind runes and use them in your writing and as messages to yourself, things that you want to remember or call forth into your life. Unlimited places in which you can use Womanrunes. So, for example, the rattle that we use when we pass the rattle at our red tent circle, it has significant Womanrunes on the surface of the rattle that I just put on there with a Sharpie. And another fun little project that I did was I made a plate with using Womanrunes, and this is just it was really a kid's project, a make it plate, where you do the drawing, send it in, and they send you back a plate that you can use. So then, when you're eating your dinner or carrying it out to a potluck, you have the the symbols and the reminders there for you. This sheet was one that my friends made for me at my mother blessing ceremony when I was pregnant with my last baby. And so you can see it has several different woman runes built into the sheet. So then when you cover up with it, you're not only covered with the blessings and wishes of your friends, but also with the power of woman runes, as you see. And you can also write, carve, or paint them onto a drum, a rattle, candle, poster. I make goddess figurines, and so this one has all the woman rune symbols etched into her skirt to use, but you can use them on clothing, sculpture, as I mentioned, candles, that kind of thing. And another possibility is to use them on your own body. I have known women who have gotten tattoos with woman runes, but a strategy that I learned from one of my participants in my Woman Runes immersion class is to use liquid eyeliner, and you'll draw a card at the beginning of the day as your check-in, your guidance process, and then you use the liquid eyeliner to ink the symbol onto your wrist or your ankle, but wrist works really nicely. And then this is a really potent, surprised by how powerful it feels, because it is a really embodied, visceral sort of physical connection to the symbols, because you're literally drawing them into you in this process. You're drawing them into you and making them a part of you. And when you have the little symbol, then as you move through your day, you consult with the meaning of the symbol, and you check it out with the book, and then as you move through your day and you spy this little symbol on your wrist, it reminds you, like, oh yeah, rune of divination, or it kind of triggers something in you, and it serves as a mindfulness touchstone or reminder, and really a way of incorporating the wisdom of woman runes in your daily round, in your daily life. And in that Woman Runes immersion course, we also do daily journaling with the different symbols, exploring them in a deeper and more profound way, and really drawing upon that wisdom and integrating it into your daily life on a daily basis. Another physical process, another way of physically using them is to paint them on you. And we use this in a women's circle group or a red tent as a type of empowerment body painting. And so the women take turns painting on each other. And you can paint words or symbols or other things, but if you're using woman runes, then you would intuitively or intentionally choose your message from the woman runes, and then you paint it anywhere. You can paint it really big if you want to too, but I'm not going to paint it big right now. So this is the rune of transformation, the flying woman. And this can be a potent physical declaration of intent and personal power. A really fun year-end project to do with your women's group or red tent is to make a Kalamundala, and that is a circular mandala moon calendar that you draw using this Woman Runes process. There's a free handout on a tutorial handout on how to make a Kalamundala on bridgetsgrove.com, and then there's instructions for how to do so are also in our Red Tent Resource Kit book. But you using white colored pencils on black paper, you draw the Kalamundala for the year, and then each new and full moon is detailed on the mandala, as well as woman rune symbols for each moon of that month. So it can be basically used as an annual oracle and a guidance system for your entire year. So it's really fun, and it's really neat to work on this in a group setting with each woman coming up with her Kalamundala and then displaying them all together. And then you can hang it on your wall and consult with it through the year. So it becomes part of your part of your language, part of your wisdom, part of your spirit, and really becomes integrated in your life in a very powerful way. Another fun thing that I like to do on my own with Womanrunes is to draw the card for my daily centering, for my inner guidance practice, and then I create the rune using stones or other little items to make a physical representation of the symbol. Whoops. And then, if you take a picture of it and put it on Instagram or something like that, we use hashtag Womanrunes. And then, when you take the picture, you can create a visual collage representation message using the physical practice, but then also the words and the guidance from the book and from the cards in another way of kind of deepening into it and sinking into it, or softening into gentleness.